I've been in Thailand way too long, and I swear, if I had $1 for every time I heard these same lies, I'd be richer than the guys that are falling for them. After dating a bar girl, getting scammed by a bar girl, and watching all my friends get played by bar girls, I thought I would make this list. These are some of the common lies that bar girls tell us foreigners, and how to spot them before you are out 500,000 and a broken heart. Some of these are obvious, some sound legit, but trust me, if you hear any of these, your wallet's in danger. Read this, learn it, and for God's sake, stop believing the BS. So let's begin with the most common lie, and one that you will most probably hear on your trip to Thailand. I need money for my sick mother. You will hear this one within a week of meeting her, guaranteed. She waits until you're feeling close and then drops the line that her mother is in some hospital up country, needs medicine, needs surgery, and needs whatever else. The story will always change, but the goal doesn't, and that is to get you to open your wallet. Here's how you know it's BS. First, if her mum was really sick, she wouldn't be working the bar that night, she'd be back home. Second, the timing is always perfect. It's right when she thinks you are hooked. And third, the details never add up. Ask what hospital, what doctor, what medicine. Suddenly, she can't remember any of it. I've seen guys send thousands for this. You know what happens after her mum gets better and out of the hospital. Next, it's my sister needs help, or our house is flooded. Once they see you will fall for it, the emergencies will never stop. The only thing for this one is to say no the first time, and every other single time. Number 2. I have no other customers, only you. This lie comes when you are having some private time with her and she realizes that you like her and you are one of them tourists that fall in love easily. She will claim that you are the only one she talks to, the only one she likes, and the only one who understands her. Meanwhile, her phone is vibrating non-stop with messages from the other 5 guys she's running the same line on. The proof is everywhere if you pay attention. Real bar girls don't have only one customer. That's like a shark claiming it only eats on Tuesdays. The second you stop spending, she's already moved on to the next guy, recycling the same lines with the same sweet and innocent look of hers. You are not her only customer, and you should never believe otherwise. The only response to when she says this to you, because she will eventually say it, is just not to react when she does say it. Don't give her attention over the lie. Just watch how fast the act drops when the money stops flowing. Next, I've never had a foreign boyfriend before. She tells you, I've never had a foreign boyfriend before, like you are supposed to believe you are this rare, special type of foreign, the first one ever. But if you spend any decent amount of time around these bars, you'll quickly realize you are probably boyfriend number, 50 or more, maybe even 100. It's like a revolving door of forensics. The funny thing is, this line isn't just about making you feel special, it's a little test too. If you buy it, she knows you are hooked, and that's when the real game starts. But if you don't, well, she just moves on to the next guy who will. So, if you catch her telling you she's new to foreign guys, take it with a big grain of salt. Chances are she's been around the block more times than a Bangkok tuk-tuk driver. And don't get me wrong, it's not just some random lie. It's strategic. Saying I've never had a foreign boyfriend before puts you in a position of the special one, which usually means you are about to open your wallet a lot wider than you planned. So keep your eyes open. It's a classic line, and it's almost always a lie. The next one is, I just started working here last week. You ever meet a girl and she acts like she's brand new to the whole bar scene? Like, oh, I just started last week. This is all new to me. It's like a newbie vibe, making you think you call her right before she gets corrupted by the scene. But then, if you hang around long enough, it's clear she's been here for years, sometimes 5, 10, or even more. It's the classic fresh face illusion. She wants you to think she's innocent, untainted, and maybe even needs a bit of protection or a helping hand. But really, she knows every angle and has played this game countless times. The new girl act is a way to lower your guard, make you feel like you're the only one who saw her before she got worn down by the job. So when she says that she just started, treat it like a sales pitch. Part of the package to reel you in before the real hustle begins. It's not about honesty, it's about making you comfortable enough to stick around. Next is, I'm only a cashier, not a bar girl. This one is a classic that is surprisingly common. She'll insist she's just a waitress, like that somehow makes her more respectable or less involved in the bar scene's darker side. Maybe she wants you to think she's not part of the usual drama or the money games. But if you watch closely or ask about bar fines, you'll realize she's definitely part of the scene. This line is about saving face, keeping up appearances for guys who want to believe they are dating someone different. But it's mostly a little white lie to keep you relaxed while the money flows. Next one is, I'm 22 years old. Age is a big deal in the bar scene, and this one is almost always a lie. She'll say she's 22 or something around that age, and she'll say that to keep you interested. But when you get to look at her ID, or just do some mental maths based on stories, you realize she's probably closer to 30 or beyond. The younger the age that she claims, the longer you might imagine a future together. But official documents rarely match what she's telling you. This is part of the bar world's secret code. Trust the ID more than her words. A lot of these Thai girls, for some reason, have their birth year tattooed somewhere on them for everyone to see, so it's pretty hard to lie in that case. Next, I'm single. This one can hit you hard if you've already fell for the girl and think you are in a relationship with her, and then you find out the truth. She tells you she's single. No strings, no complications, she's all yours. But sometimes, back in her village or her hometown, there's a husband waiting. It's not always out of dishonesty. Sometimes it's just how life works for these girls. In the bar world, having one foot in two places is pretty common. She's single in the bar city, but married or committed somewhere else. Saying that she is single helps build trust and keeps you interested without the baggage. So when you hear I'm single, it's worth remembering that relationships here aren't always black and white. I don't care about money, I just like you. Alright, here's a real favourite. I don't care about money, I just like you. Sounds sweet, like finally someone who's into you and not your wallet. But that line usually lasts right up until the second you stop sending cash or paying for things. Then suddenly it's all, why didn't you help me? Or, you don't care about me anymore? It's classic switcheroo. This one is like a test of how deep your pockets are. She says she's not interested in money, but every little favor or emergency somehow needs you to reach for your wallet. It's like an unspoken rule that your bank account is part of the relationship. And don't be surprised if she forgets her phone or runs out of cash exactly when you are not around. It's not that she can't care about you at all, but in the bar girl world, money talks louder than love. So when she says she's not about the money, just remember, actions speak louder than words, and her actions will usually say, "Send me more money, please." So take that line as a polite way of saying, prepare your wallet. Next, you are different from other men. This line, that you are different from other men, every farang in the bar hears this at least a dozen times. It's like the ultimate copy and paste line that gets recycled for every customer. And spoiler alert, you are not that special. She's saying the exact same thing to the guys who just walked in 2 minutes ago. This one is meant to make you feel like you've got some VIP status, like you are the only one she's really into, the good guy who's going to treat her right. But in reality, it's more about keeping you hooked and spending. Because when you believe you are different, you are more likely to overlook all the little red flags and keep throwing money away. Don't get me wrong, maybe you are a bit different from the guys she meets, but this line isn't about you, it's about what she wants from you. So enjoy the ego boost if you want, but remember, it's a sales pitch, plain and simple. I will quit the bar if you support me. This one sounds like a dream deal, right? She tells you she's ready to leave the bar life behind, just as soon as you help her out financially. Usually, this means covering rent, sending money for her savings, or even paying off some debt. The promise is that once you've helped her out, she'll quit and start a fresh life with you. It sounds perfect until you realize she is still working in the bar, sometimes even at a different place behind your back. It's a classic support me now, loyalty later. You get roped into footing the bills, believing you are helping her out of the game, but the reality, the money keeps flowing and she keeps working. The quit promise is more like a vague idea, something she says to keep you hopeful and invested. If you ask her friends or people at the bar, they'll tell you that she's been saying she'll quit for years. Meanwhile, she's just moved from one bar to another or picked up extra work to cover the lifestyle you don't know about. So, do not count on that promise to come true anytime soon. The next lie is, I need help with my university tuition. This lie preys on guys who think they are sponsoring a student and not just another bar girl. She will talk about her classes, maybe how good she is doing, even name drop some fake university in Bangkok. The act is convincing enough to make you believe she's one semester away from turning her life around. The reality is simple. If she was actually in school, she wouldn't be working bar shifts until 4 a.m. Thai students don't pull all-nighters at go-go's unless they are failing every subject. That money you sent her for tuition is already been spent on a new phone, a night out with friends, or a stack of 500 baht notes for her real priorities. The only lecture she is attending is the one where her friends teach her better ways to scam Farangs. The next line is, "I want to have your baby." When she says this, it usually comes with a big emotional hit. Suddenly, she's talking about a future together, having your child, and building a family. It's meant to pull on your heartstrings and make you feel like you are the one she really loves. That pregnancy often shows up only after you've sent some money to help with medical bills or something else. So if you have been sensible so far and not fall for any of her tricks, you might not hear this one. But once the cash starts flowing, you'll hear all kinds of stories, sudden complications, and money for doctor's visits. When the story falls apart or the timing gets a bit weird, it's usually because the whole thing was made up. If you ever get hit with this line, keep calm and don't rush to send money. It's an emotional roller coaster with a big price tag, and unfortunately, it's a story many Farangs have heard more than once. Next is, "I've never said I love you to anyone else." She tells you she's never said "I love you" to anyone before, so you are supposed to feel like you are the first to ever hear those words from her lips. It's a fast way to build trust and make you feel special, but if you listen closely over time, you will realize she's probably dropped the "I love you" bomb to every guy she's chatted with. Saying it weekly, daily, or sometimes to a whole group of guys isn't unusual. It's part of the job to keep the customers coming back. So while it sounds sweet, it's mostly a sales tactic. If you are caught up in this, just remember, again, actions speak louder than words. Love is about what she does for you, not what she says. And in the bar girl world, those words can be cheap and easy to throw around. Next lie is, "I only need 20,000 baht to leave this bar forever." This is another version of the "buy my freedom" scam. She will start claiming that this one small payment will let her escape the bar life forever. Maybe she wants to go back to school, help her family, or start that mythical small business of hers. The story varies, but the hook stays the same. You are not just a customer, you are her savior. Here's what really happens to that 20,000 baht. Best case, she takes a week off before returning to work. More often, she's back the next night at the same bar or one down the street. The truly brazen ones will hit you up again next month with the same story that 20,000 wasn't enough and she had to go back to work. I've seen girls recycle this scam on the same guys 3 or 4 times, changing just enough details to make it seem fresh. The hard truth is, no bar girl gets trapped by bar fines in 2025. If she wanted out, she'd walk out. These girls are not slaves. They are professionals who know exactly what they are doing. That 20,000 baht doesn't buy her freedom. It buys your ego a cheap stroke while she laughs with her friends later about how easy it was to get money from you. Next is the famous, "I'm not like the other girls here." This line you will hear a lot, especially if you ever get suspicious about what's going on behind the scenes. She claims she's different from the other girls. She's more honest, more serious, and maybe even more loyal. But if you spend any real time around the bar, you'll see she's pretty much cut from the same cloth as the rest. It's a great way to make you think you are special and that she's one of a kind. The truth is, most of these girls are hustling the same game with the same lines. It's just part of the business to keep guys believing that they are unique. So when you hear, "I'm not like the others," just smile and remember it's a smooth way to keep you invested while she plays the same old game. The next one, "I'll visit your country soon." This is the hopeful line that everyone wants to hear. She talks about packing her bags, flying to your country, meeting your friends, and starting a new life. It sounds amazing, like a sign you are moving towards something real. But most times, it ends with radio silence or a sudden disappearance. Visa problems, money issues, or family emergencies popping up, and suddenly she's ghosting you. That dream visit turns into a maybe someday that never shows up on the calendar. It's an easy way again to keep you hanging on and sending support, but don't bet your future on it. Lots of Farangs get caught dreaming while she stays put, living her life back home. Next one is, "I just need a short-term loan." This one is delivered with fake desperation and just enough shame to make it believable. She'll claim it's for something urgent, but temporary. Maybe her motorbike repairs, a phone bill, or a small family emergency. The key word is always loan, like she's doing you the honor of pretending she'll pay you back. Here's how it really goes down. That first loan is just a test. If you say yes, suddenly there's another crisis next week, then another, and then another. The amounts get bigger each time, and the excuses get more unbelievable. By month 3, you are thousands of dollars deep, and she's avoiding your calls. The smart ones keep the scam alive by throwing you crumbs, a partial repayment here, and a tearful promise there. Just enough to string you along. But it never adds up. That small time loan somehow always ends up costing more than just paying a bar girl outright. The only way to win? Say no to the first request, and every single time after that. The ones who actually need help will find it elsewhere. The scammers will disappear faster than your money would have. And the last line I hear a lot is, "I will pay you back next month." This one comes right after she hits you up for cash. Maybe it's for rent, for food, or maybe some other sob story. She swears on her life she'll pay you back as soon as she gets paid. And it sounds convincing too. But the next month never comes. First, she'll say she wasn't paid enough, and then she had an emergency, then she's waiting on a friend to pay her back. After a while, she just stops answering your texts. Smart guys know money given to a bar girl is money you will never see again. If she really intended to pay you back, she wouldn't be asking some tourist for loans in the first place. The only time you will hear, "I'll pay you back," is when she's trying to make the scam sound legit. So guys, that's a wrap for now. There are plenty of more lines these ladies use, but now you know the most common ones to call BS the second you hear it. I'll submit a part 2 when I get chance, but for now, keep them stories coming, as I'm addicted to listening to all of these Thailand tales. Thank you.